Canelo Alvarez says that Terence Crawford is easy money. He doesn't move how he used to move. He's lost his touch. At 154 pounds, challenging Madrimov, he has lost his touch, and he is no longer the guy that a lot of people think that he still is. Now, a lot of people been saying he needs to fight Canelo Alvarez. You know, Canelo needs to fight Terence Crawford. That would be a great fight. And I'm not going to say it's not going to be a great fight. And I'm not going to say that Terence Crawford is going to get dog-walked in that fight. And I'm not going to say he's going to get put in a coffin in that fight. But this dude right here is going to put a hurting on Terence Bud Crawford. Don't put that man in no ring with no Canelo Alvarez. Now, remember, Terence Crawford used to say that there's weight classes for a reason. The biggest weight class he would go to was 154 pounds. Now, he talked to Dana White after his fight against Errol Spence. He put the battery on Terence Crawford's back, and then Terence Crawford really thought that he was something big. You know what I'm saying? He really thought that he could go up to 168 pounds and challenge the king. You can't do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They are weight classes for a reason. There's a reason why nobody's asking no guy like Gervonta Tank Davis to go up to 147, 154 pounds to fight you. You know, now we're in a way moving up to 135 pounds to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. There's a reason for it. There are weight classes for a reason. There's no way that you and your body structure is going to be able to take and endure the punishment that you will have against a guy like Canelo Alvarez. Now, does he have a shot in the fight? Of course, everybody's got a shot in the fight, right? It's a 50-50 chance at the end of the day. You can catch a lucky punch and get the guy up out of there. But what we were seeing against Terence Crawford and Madrimov was that Madrimov kept hitting Terence Crawford with the right hand. It was not, his defense was non-existent. His head movement was non-existent. There was no head movement. He just kept getting hit with the right hand the whole entire night. If we're being honest, I think that the first couple of rounds would look good. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford will get some confidence going. And I think Canelo Alvarez will ultimately get him up out of there. There is no route to victory for a guy like Terence Crawford. He's too small, and he's not going to be able to take that punch. You know what I'm saying? The guy that he just fought only had 10 fights and had 7 KOs. So he has some power. But you comparing a guy at 154 pounds to a guy at 168 pounds who walks around 2-something. There is no comparison. You know, he was getting touched up big by Madrimov, sticking his tongue out because he knew that they hurt. So are we really going to sit here and compare that he's going to be able to endure that type of power, endure that type of pain that Canelo Alvarez is going to bring on that night? You see this fight right here? This is exactly the fight that's going to happen right here. You know what I'm saying? That is Amir Khan getting knocked out. So let's not be dumb and try to push a guy like Terence Crawford into fighting a guy like Canelo Alvarez. I understand Turkey Al-Sheikh has a lot of a lot of money, and he can make things happen. And if the money's right, like Canelo Alvarez says, we could possibly make that fight. And that's very understandable if the money is right. But I think that Turkey Al-Sheikh is not understanding that he's probably putting Terence Crawford in the line of fire, and he's going to tarnish his record, tarnish his legacy. I understand you go up to 168 pounds and try to fight against the best. That's credible. That's honorable. You know what I'm saying? That's respectable. But the problem is that you could have stayed at 154 pounds and fought a lot of other top guys as well. You know what I'm saying? So why move up to 168 pounds? Well, he said it after the fight because of the money. The money's going to be there, right? He's looking for that hefty amount of money. Understandable. A fighter needs to get paid. A fighter wants to get paid. I ain't knocking that. But at the end of the day, they putting the battery on his back, and I think that is gonna run out. All money ain't good money. Outmatching yourself. You understand that you was getting touched up by a guy, this guy that only had 10 fights in the professional rankings. I understand you had an amateur pedigree, bruh, but are they really knocking dudes out? You know what I'm saying? In the amateurs, it's more about skill, right? So collecting points, you know. And this dude was really in there confusing the shit out of you. He was confusing Terence Crawford. The feints that he was throwing, he wasn't being able to time him. So there was flaws that we saw on Terence Crawford's game. There were flaws throughout that whole fight that we saw in Terence Crawford's game. The only person that really thought that he did a tremendous job was Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? But we understand where Sean Porter is coming from. We understand what he's intending to do. You know what I mean? He's there to uplift them. You know what I'm saying? They're very understandable. But I understand you don't want to accept the fact that you fought a guy that hasn't really fought nobody. Yeah, he fought Earl Spence, but he ain't really fought nobody. That 147-pound division was the weakest 147-pound division I believe that we've ever seen. In probably 25 years, that is the weakest 147-pound division we've ever seen in life. But we glorified those guys because it was the 147-pound division, a division that is prestigious inside of the sport of boxing. So what did we do? We glorified these guys and made them feel invincible. Now they're trying to put the battery in dude's back and get this dude clapped up. 168 is no joke. The power is no joke. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And we out, man.